Welcome to the Void for day 20. Oh, actually, I need to do math for this one. 27 of Pride. And we're going to be playing Wolf's Wool. I'm excited. This one is described as an abstract visual novel about, like, gender and societal expectations. And it sounds interesting, and I'm very excited to get into it. Begin. Interesting. I am curious, because it says... Oh, is that actually the... Oh, interesting. I thought... Huh. Why do we need to look like wolves every day? Or I asked everyone one day. Because they're powerful, everyone answered. They once ruled over the weak, and so shall we. Why do we have to wear bows and crowns? I asked everyone. Tell if you're male or female, of course. Male wears crowns like our alpha did, for they are crafting themselves in his image, and they need to find a bow to have a child with. You need a crown and a bow to create a child, everyone. What if I don't want to wear the bow? What if I wanted a crown, or neither? And what if I don't want a child? Everyone laughed. A child is a blessing, a fantastic and hallowed responsibility for all bows. You give your life to him or her like how you give your life to your flame, while your flame will give his life to you, how we give our lives to our alpha. And for a bow to wear a crown is to betray his blessing of you living under his light. If you don't give yourself to this blessing he has given you, then you are an ingrate for wasting the gift our alpha has given you. Existence. How could you after everything he's done for you? His path has always walked the path you're destined to walk down. His path is always the path you're destined to walk down, and there's no way to change it. Oh, so we also have, like, religious trauma we're dealing with here, too. Wonderful. I don't want to exist on a path I'll never be happy on. If that's how I'll always exist, then maybe I shouldn't exist. I never said. Here, we will always look after each other and love you with one single condition. As long as you keep wearing the wolf's wool he has given to all of us, they answered. Always look and act like us, never stray from our alpha's light, and you will always be happy with it. Okay. You're okay, everyone replied. I replied. Ooh. I hoped I am. I hope I am. Interesting. What the pale one? Because the everyone color seems to be like the yellow. That's what keeps on popping up every time it says everyone is talking. So let's do the one that's the least like that color. I've been told of how life is a number of steps taken towards a destination. Where that is, you won't know. Or maybe you do know. Who knows? After all, I have been told the destination and the path to it could be life-threatening. But it's best not to stray far from where you're guaranteed safety. Ooh. You're funky looking. And besides, any footprints will always be wiped away with our wolf's wool dragging behind us. That's okay because we live in the Brightlands always, never straying from our alpha's eternal sun. So we don't need footprints or the destination. Those steps always seem too dark under the light anyway. That's what everyone always said, at least. Nobody knows when our way of living started. One day, our god Alpha stitched himself together from several different old and obsolete powers and gods, just like the eternal sun he crafted into his own image, just like the wolf's wool that protects us. He said he always loved the light, for it makes him want to work tirelessly for it, like we will always do for him. But I wonder sometimes, wolves always look like this. I could have sworn they looked really different in the old books I've read, without wool even, but everyone swears that what we wear is correct. Is there a different sun before our eternal sun? Everyone swears there has always been our sun, but I think it looks different before. At least that's what some of the old books say, but what do those books know? There are many things I don't know either. I don't know why my name is uncomfortable. I don't know why this protective wool is uncomfortable. I don't know why the comfort everyone told me to believe in, that everyone told me would make me happy, doesn't make me comfortable or happy. I also don't know why I like to dance. I do know why I don't dance, though. Everyone has told me how much of a time waster it is. And they look too stupid when I try, so I don't anymore. Aww. I don't know who I am, despite the years I have lived. I don't know who everyone is because of this, and maybe everyone doesn't know who everyone is either. Who is everyone? What is everyone? Am I everyone? I am. I look into the mirror and I see the wolf's wool everyone wears reflecting back to me. The action that's helped me survive in the Brightlands for so long. And seeing the reflection looking back at me, the reflection that I think looks like me, the way it reflects the light from the window and into my eyes makes me feel... have not. Other than times I move my body doing respectable work, everyone loves pains and aches. Internal and out, blossoms on my back like my worries. It makes it harder to step and dance when nobody is watching, and it makes it harder to do anything I love or hate. Why does it hurt? It shouldn't hurt. I sleep like normal, like I typically do, but are my bad habits starting to tear me apart? I needed to tire my questioning mind with scenarios I'll never see, and I embrace my wolf's wool to give my arms something to do so I don't sleep on them. I've also been accidentally sleeping longer than I should, and on waking up I still feel tired. And my everyday decisions and actions have been wrong for the longest time. My shoulder blades are just me. And it's both of my shoulder blades that hurt, not just one. Perhaps I toss and turn in my sleep? I don't know if I do, but I do sometimes find my wool staring at me from the ground. So I guess I do move around sometimes. Or maybe it isn't when I sleep, but what I do every day. Maybe I should stop hunching over my old books. Maybe I should find a better position to relax in. Maybe I should stop dancing in my home. Maybe I'm sitting in my chair wrong. Maybe I should stand straighter when I work. Maybe it's nothing? Maybe it'll get better throughout the day. It's nothing. Maybe I'll get better throughout. I say this every time I fall asleep, and then after waking up one day. And then after waking up one day, every eternal day, I find my shoulder blades in pain and my wool on the ground. When I pull up my wool, however, I notice all the rips and tears being pulled open by. How long was it like this? Did my wool always look like this? But I never saw anyone else's wool like this. Think? When I awaken for the new or same day, I'm not quite sure which it is. I ask everyone about my wool. And everyone laughs. How silly, you're joking, the wool is not that weak. If it is falling apart, then you're not taking care of it enough. How incredible for you to destroy something that our alpha has so graciously given you. But I did take care of it, I never argue. I take care of it like you always said I should. If that's the case, is there something wrong with me? Instead, I laugh along with them. Scared. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe I'll get better throughout. That's what you'd like to tell yourself. Bumps flutter in the heart and the mind and hopefully never on your body. Before you realize it, you come across another bump, and soon you launch forward before you are falling towards your and soon you collide with that shadow, shattering your body, and soon your entire being expels in different intervals in different directions, dusting the horizon with your remains, and covering it all until light can no longer reach the ground any longer. And then I wake up. My shoulder blades hurt again, and my wool is on the ground. I stare into the glass eyes of the wolf that had been watching me sleep for who knows how long. The eternal sun from outside makes the plastic eyes glisten like they were wet with crying, and now I feel like crying. Am my wool the reason why everything feels so uncomfortable? Or is it my fault for letting it become dust? Oh, and there are so many things I do not know. For example, what happens to those who lose their wool? Why haven't I seen them in the Brightlands? Do they disappear? Is that what disappearance is that? And is that disappearance what everyone calls death? I've only read about the concept of death in old books, but nobody has ever mentioned it in my entire existence. If someone happens to leave everyone's eyes for a long period of time, then the memory of their existence fades into the light. But I remember one person. I think? We were friends, I think. I think we played. I think we hugged. I think we did other things that made us laugh, but not like how everyone laughs at me. It was close to how crowns laughed to their bows, but we both had bows. Suddenly she was gone. Nobody will acknowledge her absence no matter what I say, no matter how vivid the memory of her is, so it's as if she was in my mind only, haunting me like an empty shroud. Will that be me? Will that be the end our alpha decided for me? Shame, for I haven't been able to find my flame yet, due to being tired from working. I can't say damage like this, and I can't get new wool. I also cannot get caught with that wool under the light's glare. I'm too scared to see what those eyes will reflect. So before I go to sleep for the day with my shoulder blades in pain and with my itchy wool over my shoulders, I think of the things I should do for me. Pardon me. Think of the words everyone gave me when I. More okays than I could ever feel, less than I should actually feel, sadder than I wanted to please someone. Mood. Let's go with the red one. Tearing sound. How nice, how wonderful, how terrifying, how awful, how the body is and how it acts, how others look at you and how they think before. And what can you say? What can you do? Defend yourself from what they may ask, because there are no sticks or stones hurting you. Exactly is hurting you. Words can never hurt, or at least it's what they say. It's all in your head, and everyone knows that's what's in your head doesn't matter. At least that's the same combination of words they like to say over and over, round and round, like waltz where your feet are always getting stepped. So you step away from their terrible lyrics and move. Scream. So you cry. And you're gone. Far, far away from their prying words and into melody and oh, words keep repeating and circling, wrapping around you, making you want to slow down. You want to stay walking, but soon you're wrapped in a cocoon with your old tattered wool, baking under the heated sun and sky. You keep going. You think. I need you to keep walking. Want to end it like this. I just want to exist without any discomfort, pain, or sadness. And soon. I wake in a room I don't recognize. I was apparently dreaming, or at least I hope it was a dream. My shoulder blades still hurt, but not as much as they did. When I rise from the cushions I've been resting on, I can feel dust and wool remnants that cover me now, settling onto the ground. Upon seeing the particles fall and scatter around the air, I follow my gaze down and catch the wolf's plastic eyes. Had my wool been on the ground this entire time? The eye seemed to answer with scorn reflecting in its eyes, reflecting also the cloudy sky outside. Oh, good. I'm glad you're awake. Before I could put my wool back on, a voice tinted with laughter jolts through me. I hide my visage under the soft, comfortable blanket and looked to the source, finding a large grin beaming at me. Aww. You're adorable. I'm so glad you're okay. I can't believe we found someone from the Brightlands. We rarely get people from there. If you happen to remember me, I'm from there too. This laughter isn't like everyone's laughter. This one made me happy for some reason. Maybe? I answered timidly. I'm sorry, I don't remember your name. I am, and that's okay. I have one I like better. I'm loud. Yes, you are. And fuck, that's so cute of you. You're loud. What a name. Loud. Oh, that is such a delightful name. That is an absolutely perfect and delightful, wonderful name for someone with such a color palette as you. Loud? It suits you well, I wanted to say, but I wasn't sure if it was rude or not. I admire their loudness. That's right. And what about you? What's your name? That's right. And what about you? What's your name? Are you okay? I feel the wolf's eyes on the ground still staring at me scornfully. Suddenly, I feel like covering my entire existence in this blanket as I try to find the right word. Then I remember, everyone isn't here and the glare from the eternal sun isn't on me. For some reason, realizing this has made me whisper quietly. I'm not okay. Loud explained what they knew to me while I got used to living in the colorscape. Whether this was true or not, they nor anyone else who came from the Brightlands could clarify, but it does make some sense after talking to some of the other people who live here. Alpha lied and manipulated everyone. He created the eternal sun to burn non-believers who took off the wool he provided. The wool protected your skin from his sun, and it was his way of controlling everyone to give him faith, which gave him power. It gave him eternal life at the expense of everyone else's life. Everyone now works eternally and believes in his forgotten promise, and so the Brightlands came to be. But who really knows, since that was a long time ago and gods probably don't exist? Perhaps it was an amalgamated god who stitched himself together from other gods, but some rotten people at some point who messed up everything for all, and generations had to pay for their consequences in order to survive in the heat of the landscape. Either way, the wool, the bows, the crowns, the artificial eternal sunlight, the tiring work to a forgotten and misinformed ideal was never needed in the first place. Made-up ideals, made-up morals, and made-up values can make false gods everyone can believe in, apparently. But when everyone made rules based on those ideals, when those morals and values you took to mind and soul are faulty at best, manipulation at worst, what can you do? I don't know how I did it, but many other people from the Brightlands who live here told me about how hard it was to escape the harsh glare of the Alpha's eternal sun when they left. So, was that what happened to you? I asked loud while we did our walk at this time of day called night. They laughed in response, making me smile even if they can't see my face. Yep. I'm sure you know all too well, but living there and living under the bows and crowns is so suffocating. It took a while to get away from them, but I did, and you did too. I looked to the sky. the clouds still swirling around like they did when I was first woke up. It's calming, unlike the harsh glare at home, or I guess what used to be home. Yeah, I did. It's just, I never thought it was possible to live without the wool, or at least with different covers and different names than what's given you. Well, they never gave us any other possibility. I never thought I could like my smile in my own body until I ditched the wool and came here. They suddenly looked at me, and the warmth and light from the homes and the landscape flickering in their excited eyes like sparks. Hey, was there a specific moment where you decided to say, fuck this shit, I'm out? Well, led up to that moment. Every person I talked to had a story to tell, and they're always interesting. Though, they pointed to the worn wool still on my shoulders. I am curious why you're still wearing that thing. You know you don't need to, right? I'd like to see what you look like without the cloak. Wait, did they just say... Did I hear that right? Are they flirting with me or being nice? Because that means something very specific and... Oh shit, what the fuck do I say back? I like the key smash option. Maybe that says something about me, but I like the key smash option. Just... That's how I verbally key smash. I sheepishly fall silent and grip the worn-out wool still covering me. I think to deflect my dumb imagination and answer their questions of what finally made me leave the Brightland, but I don't really want to think back to it or elaborate more. Still, did I hear them right, or am I being really, really stupid right now? I think Loud sensed my panicked hesitation because they laughed nervously to break the tension my silence broke. Thank goodness they can't actually see my burning face, but something about their nervous laugh made my face more unbearably hot. I'm really, really sorry if I made you uncomfortable. If you don't want to talk about it, that's fine too. You can come out of your wool whenever you feel comfortable. I don't want to force you to do something you don't like, since that's all we've really done in the Brightlands. Loud laughs again, probably to help dispel the awkward air. I feel bad if I made the error like this, but I'm glad they're not pressuring me. Really though, living there under bows and crowns is so suffocating. Oh goody, I'm really glad you made it here. When I heard them call me that, my breath caught in my throat and my face felt like it's on fire. I sputtered out a quick response without thinking or pausing. You don't need to call me that. Good is fine. Loud paused, probably trying to parse my jumbled sentence. Does it make you uncomfortable? I'm sorry if it does. I'll stop doing that then. Oh no, I feel really bad now, and I didn't actually want them to stop, so I tried to say anything to correct them with this somehow. No, wait, I didn't want you to stop calling me that. My mind went blank and I could feel myself frustrated with myself. Loud waits for a response patiently, surprisingly not mad with how I am right now, with a gentle yet nervous smile that's encouraging me to take my time. I look to the cloudy sky, hoping the swirls will help me the more I stare at it, instead of staring at the lights highlighting the colorful city. Find the words I want to say, hoping they're able to get what I want across. I'm just... sorry. I'm just not used to hearing my new name yet, let alone a nickname. I say this embarrassed. I've never really talked much in the Brightlands, since it could be seen as a time waster. Now my lack of being able to communicate to another person, let alone the kindest person I've ever cared about, is starting to bite me in the ass. Loud hums thoughtfully while I think silently about what to say next. I'll stop calling you Goody then, they say with a smile. Until you get used to Good, or even if you decide on a different name. Well, no, I mean, I never said you couldn't use Goody, I murmured shyly. This causes them to blink, still smiling, but very visibly confused. I elaborate further. Aw. You can still call me Goody. If you want. But only you. I'm not used to it yet, so it feels kinda weird. Doesn't this contradict what I just said earlier? I think fearfully. Do I understand what I'm saying? Do I understand what I'm saying? Are you sure? I don't want to call you something you don't like, they ask softly, still trying to ensure they're not angry with me, but in fact trying to understand. Only if it's you. Nobody else, I assure them. And I'll tell you if I want a different name, and I know you'll be fine with that. Loud smiles at me. Sounds good to me. I laugh at their joke, a wave of comfort and happiness washing over me. Loud laughs too, and we continue our way home. This is so cute and wholesome. I love this. Despite this new comfort and newfound happiness, however, I didn't want to admit I'm still scared to take off the wool. After all, what would the others in the colorscape think if they saw me for who I truly am? Not even I know what that looks like, and it's terrifying to imagine something so unknowable. But then again, am I really a part of them if I keep wearing this remnant of the society that didn't want them? Am I betraying them if I stay here with them? What does comfort actually feel like, I wanted to ask? I've never felt comfortable ever in my life. What would it look like to live life so unlike what I'm used to? But instead of asking and not wanting to bother them with my inane thoughts, I stay silent. That one. The aches in my shoulder blades still hurt. Despite this, I actually want to move around a lot more than I used to, and want to talk to the kinds of people who live here too. But if I move too much, then my wolf. I've also heard what other people in the Colorscape say. It's not many, but I've heard a few say what they think about. That I don't look like them, that I'll never be like them, that the things I went through are not enough compared to them. There are some who are kind to my dilemma, though. Some even don their own shrouds that they either made or edited to their liking, in many different patterns and wools and fabrics I've never seen before. Some have even offered me their own colorful shroud to wear when they saw how mine was falling apart. But I declined them. After all, I don't know if I'm enough to wear those beautiful colors. What if I stop liking those colors? What if I accidentally destroyed it like I did my wool? After all, I'm not like them. Think? But I'm not like everyone either. Think? Will I ever be enough if I take this thing off? I probably won't. It's the same as if I keep wearing it, but I'm too scared to take it off. I clutch the wool closer, it now making my skin irritated and some small clumps filling my lungs. Discomfort is all I've ever had, all I've ever known, all I can actually predict. Lose it now, then these things that will come my way could be worse than I feel right now. Well, it's how I feel right now. But was I even happy when I was there where everyone could see me? Well, maybe I shouldn't have come here, then I wouldn't have met Loud and the kind people who lived here. Maybe I should take off the wolf's wool, but then my figure will always be seen, always be judged, always never be enough. Maybe I shouldn't take off the wool, but I'm always going to be feeling like this, look like this, so uncomfortable. Maybe I shouldn't exist, if existing is always going to be this uncomfortable. What does comfortable even mean? What will even look like? If existing was always going to be awful like this, if being looked at by other people can make me feel like this no matter who they are or what they are, then... Hey, you in there? I hear Loud's voice, but I don't move from my bed and pretend to be asleep. I seem to be only comfortable when I'm here in the darkness, and I wish I could stay here for a little while longer. I know I've been feeling down for a while, but I'm really worried about you, they say to me. Would you like to go out on a walk with me? Talk it out if you want to. Or not talk, if you don't want to. I didn't reply. Hey, I know you're awake. I know you can hear me, Loud says a little more firmly. Oh well, if you don't want to join me, it'll be a shame that you can't see how gorgeous the moon is. I shift in the blanket, now curious. The moon still exists? Huh? Oh, right, it was always sunny there, and it's always been really cloudy since you came. Yeah, it never was destroyed, just obscured since the sun at home was always up. Clouds have been clearing up, and we can probably see it tonight. I've only seen the moon in old books, so it did intrigue me enough to sit up in bed. Thought for a bit, wondering if I should stay in the comfort of my bed or walk with Loud, but before I could do anything, they laughed shyly and started towards the door. You don't want to walk, that's fine. The offers will always be there, though. In a panic, I call out, Wait, no! Sorry, I do want to walk with you. Loud turns to me, surprised and confused. Huh? Sorry for what? There's nothing you need to apologize for. I look down at the blanket sheet. Well, I guess, taking so long to do anything. Everyone said I used to talk too much, so I want to think about what to do or say. They sat down next to me and placed their hand on top of one of mine, which was clutching the worn wool, smiling. That's funny, because I don't think you talk enough. Shame on them for making you feel like that about you. I like to hear more from you. It's like what I tell Melody. Sometimes Memby's kind of like, oh no, I shouldn't be loud, and I'm like, silly bird. Melodies are meant to be heard. I like this a lot. This is very cute, very gay. I smile under the cloak, unsure of what to say, loosening my grip on the wolf's wool enough to hold. I've heard of how the moon is a harmonious suggestion in the old books. Whether it's present or new, the suggestions of light always seem to come through and hit the earth in a way that's unlike the eternal sunshine I'm so used to. The words then suggested that if the moon didn't exist, then the world wouldn't have some semblance of harmony. However, it's all the things I know about the moon changing. I don't know much about it. I don't know much of it after all. Nobody really did, since to us, it had been gone for hundreds of years. Even then, everything I could say about the moon won't be original since everyone had seen it and they said all that they can. I'm sure what I just stated has been stated before. But it's still stunning to find me. Loud and I walked around while glancing at it and each other as we walked to a high hill overlooking the colorscape. Sitting here, we stare at it, silent in thought and spoken word. Even under the uncomfortable wool, this is the most comfortable, peaceful silence I've ever experienced in my life. However, that's all the things I know about the moon. After some time watching it higher and higher and seemingly change colors, Cloud turns to me and distills the silence. You know, there's gonna be a dance soon, sometime next week. Oh yeah, I've heard others talk about it, and I've even saw some ask their partners to it. It sounds nice. I've never been to a dance before. Cloud tears their gaze from the moon to look at me, surprised. What, really? Even in the Brightlands? I thought they frequently had dances or some excuse of a celebration. I continued to stare at the moon, too nervous to meet their gaze. Yeah, they did, but I was too busy to do anything outside of work, and going to those events always made me feel nervous anyway. Usually, those dances were for crowns to find their bows, but after hearing how everyone talked about my dancing before I could go to one, my desire to go to one simply vanished. Well, what about this one? Do you want to go? Cloud asks. Did they sound nervous just now, or was that my imagination? I think for a moment and wanted to say yes, since I am curious as to how different this one is compared to the ones I've seen from a distance, but the wool prickling at my back made me remember the words of the few who lived here. I don't know. Probably not. I mean, nobody's asked me to the dance, and I'm not a good dancer anyway. A sigh, breath of relief? Relief? For what? Well, want to practice dancing with me? I'll be your partner. I nearly jump out of my wool, and they try to stutter some coherent response. Wait, huh? What? Why? I smile their big, beautiful smile. Not wanting to look like an idiot while just staring at them, I stare directly at the moon instead. Because I want to practice dancing with you. They say this so simply, so happily, so confidently that makes this request seem like not like a request, but instead a prophecy that needs to be fulfilled. Huh? Me? Wait, why me? I blubber in disbelief. There's a lot of people in the Colorscape who would love to dance with you. Because I want to practice dancing with you, they answer with a smile. But I don't know how to dance. I'll probably step on your feet and hurt you, I reply in a panic. Cloud laughs. I'm pretty sure you won't kill me. And if you do, well, I'll be glad I died because I was dancing with you. But it'll be hard to dance with my wool. For you mean, like, you have to deal with it too. They smile wider, still laughing. I'll figure out a way. I was at a loss of words in argument at this point and could only reply with, I can't. Now, what if it doesn't work out? What if I make a fool of myself? What if I make a fool out of you by extension? Right? I finally frown at me, concerned. What if you make a fool out of yourself? What would happen then? I stay silent, thinking of the multiple possibilities and multiple eyes leering at me and wondering why I can't do anything right to their expectations, how much of an outsider I am, how putrid and ugly my wool is, and how I don't look like them and may never look like them, but what do I even look like? You don't actually know what will happen, they answer, breaking me out of my spiral and back into the moonlight. You don't know if it won't work out, but you also won't know if it will work out. I can't refute what they're saying, but I don't know what to say. There's many things I could say, such as how much I appreciate how gentle and kind they are with my indecisiveness, considering how much time they wasted on me and my insecurities, but the only thing I managed to utter in this maelstrom of feelings was a very small... Sorry for what? Cloud asks. There's something to apologize for. They're not wrong, but I still feel bad and feel the need to apologize. For being dumb, I guess. They sat down next to me and placed one of their hands on top of mine, that was clutching the wool, smiling and chuckling. Don't worry, I'm pretty fucking stupid too. I also dance pretty stupid too, so we would just look like fools together if you're still nervous. I laugh and they laugh. I laugh harder and they do too, making me laugh hard enough tears fall out of my eyes. I loosen my grip on the wolf's wool enough to hold their hand. And with my hands and my entire body now preoccupied with something else than keeping it together, the wool finally fell from my shoulders with a dusty little thump. We stopped laughing out of surprise, unsure what to do. But I was surprised at several things at the moment. My shoulder blades no longer hurt, the moonlit air tasted so sweet, sweeter than I ever imagined. Was that because of the laughter we filled the air with, or because the dust from the unwearable wool was settling? We stare at it, in the wolf's eyes staring up at the moon. Glancing at the wolf's glittering glass eyes, I suddenly get ideas of what to finally do with it. Aww. Yeah, dance on the wool. That feels like the most blasphemous option. I have movements almost feel dreamlike, or perhaps in this moment I was truly in a dream. I realized how much I've always wanted to do this, and if I happen to wake up from this dream in the future, I will make this my reality. Because seeing the thing you used to be wither into nothing woke something within you. Soon you've taken your first breath, and seeing the dust beneath your feet glitter and sparkle in the moonlight made you want to see it move. So you began kicking, you began jumping, you began spinning and dragging into a brand new song and dance that makes you so elated to see it become part of the ground. It spreads the more you dance, the more you smile, the more you laugh, and happiness within that dust scatters about like a newly cleaned room. It seems like what you needed. Now that you're not burdened by anything anymore, the dust began to dance with you. Your partner smiles, happy to see you like this. Still coughing under the stardust and moon forces you to stop and breathe for a moment. In our bodies lives not only us, but the other things that affect our reality. Perhaps there's only blood and pain beneath our skin, but there's more beneath each body part than you think there is. In your throat, right where your heart is a voice. Throughout the years, it changes and shifts, vibrating and never truly staying still for all the breaths you take and you give. When you say something, it stretches and elongates and shortens and contracts, making all kinds of sounds that shift throughout your tongue. What is it you want to say? What is it you want to speak? To whom do you direct your precious air that you have a limited amount of? Somewhere near your heart, you can feel an answer rise each and every time you try to talk. Different occasions, different contexts, and different shapes and forms. What about the sounds that feel wrong? When they come up from your throat and into the air, it smelt wrong and everyone around you could smell it as well. Sometimes you couldn't smell it, but you could recognize that same awful stench from others later in life. Sometimes that stench leaves the older you get, sometimes it rots into something. When those awful smelling sounds come out, how do you clear them? Or how do you keep the atmosphere alive? Or do other people thrive in that kind of air, like oxygen and nitrogen and all the gases that make us live despite poisoning us? That poison you once spoke never truly fades, for all of the scars the acid creates may last a life. Even after the air gets better, even after learning to stretch your vocal cords a certain way, even after all the apologies and the actions to reinforce new words that make the poisonous words weak, and the things you can say leave such an impact, even after you've forgotten what you ever said. Almost as if gods reside in our throat, in your throat. People will carry those words until you say their. People will carry those words you say until their graves, until your own grave, and even when your grave is affixed with admirations for an eternity, you'll never know who you are. What are you doing? What do you need to do? What are you saying when the sun sets and the moon rises? Alright, you've been wasting the time you wanted to waste here. Your partner holds you, worried, but brightens like light when they see you smile at them. You need to get up, you told yourself, and keep walking with it. And so I did, leaving behind footprints in the dusty lane. That's so cute. Aww. Wolf's Wool, created by Pajama Party. Oh, Pajama Party, it's just the moons are part of the P's. Wonderful. Pajama Party project. That was really cute. Illustrator, designer, writer, programmer, Knick-Knack PJ. Music created by Rose. Beta readers, Moe Magnus, Shy Fox, and Jade Lejek. Aw. Special thanks. Bayou for the Snow Blossom code, Minute for the accessibility settings, everyone in the non-binary Game Jam Discord server for the encouragement while I was developing. Various people in Limisoft forums posted solutions to problems I was having, and thank you so much for playing. Aww. This is really cute. That was a really cute little game. I liked that a lot, and I don't know. I don't quite have the words for it, but just, I don't know. I feel better after having played that, so I hope, you know, I think maybe this helped me process some things a little bit, so, you know, I hope maybe, at the very least, you enjoyed it, and, you know, maybe it helped you process something too. I actually realized there's a brief little, like, afterword thing, so let's go ahead and read this, shall we? Wow, hey, I'm Knick-Knack PJ, and I'm the person that coded and designed and arted and rated Wolf's Wool. By getting here, that means you got an ending. Or maybe all three. Hopefully two? Or one? Either way, thank you for playing my visual novel. This was created for the non-binary Game Jam in 2021. I wasn't actually going to make anything for the jam because I had finished Pillars on Poppy Hill a month earlier, but the emotions that came up while listening to Foster the People's song Lamb's Wool consumed my mind at such a good time. I'm probably the... Let's see, that's... thousands? Hundreds, thousands, millions, the 24 billion, 831,847,000 Oh, wait, no. 2,483,184,739th re-listen, I suddenly got an image of someone wearing a wolf skin and memories of a bunch of emotions from things I wrote as a writing exercise but I really liked. I combined them all and behold, an NB protagonist with an existential crisis and a gay panicking. I had a blast drawing everything because it's so different and freeform from what I usually draw. It was also really nice to find a story between two old exercise blurbs I was working with. That being said, I was actually a little nervous releasing this because of how weird I'm sure it comes off as, but I'm really proud of what I made. Admittedly, I made up the world as I wrote, but also had so much fun drawing everything and thinking about it that I want to explore it further in a future thing. It probably won't have good or loud in it, but maybe someone else from the Brightlands. Oh, and by the way, there will be an art book for Wolf's Wool that goes into more detail about my process of making this thing, because there's so much I'd like to talk about that I don't think I can fit into this little section, lol. That's it, I think. If you made it all the way here at the bottom of the afterward screen, then truly from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for taking your time to read my visual novel. I hope you look forward to prospective things I'll be working on in the future. Knick Knack PJ. Aww, that's so cute. I'm definitely going to go check out their itch.io page, and I highly suggest you do as well. And now, back to the outro. Thank you all so much for watching. If you'd like to play the game for yourself, maybe see what the other dialogue options are, there will be a link in the description below to the itch.io page. And as always, please do not forget to be kind to yourselves and one another. And for now, it's time for some very important things. I'm eternally grateful for all my supporters over on Ko-fi, Darius, Bunnybot, Sapphic Seraph, Kylie Coven, and Space. If you'd like to help support the channel, join the ranks by following the Ko-fi link in the description below. Once there, you can choose from a variety of either one-time or subscription options, which will get you the following benefits. Adding a game to the list of things I'm going to play. Get your very own custom-made Discord emoji made by me. Access to the subscriber-only Discord server. Or get added to the end card by subscribing at the common tier or higher. And as always, don't forget to hydrate, masticate, and medicate.